guys, how's it going? How you doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I'm doing another collection video, and because this is a series of videos on my channel where I am popping in to do an intro and an outro and plugging that intro and outro onto every single one of the collection videos that I have. I cannot tell you which one it is, but the title and the thumbnail should have told you which one it is, and I hope that you're here for it. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna. I'm a lover of all things high-end, colorful beauty and self-care. I also work as a field business leader for Ulta Beauty, so I get a lot of education in my position, like to bring you that education. But ultimately, I'm just out here talking about makeup because I like to talk about makeup, and I'm sure that you do too, or you wouldn't be here. I'm hoping at the end of the day we can be friends and you'll want to subscribe before you go. You're here because you're nosy, aren't we all? You want to see what's in my collection, as do I. So let's roll into this collection video and I will see you at the end. You know, a few years ago I had like 31 bronzers and I thought that was a lot. And I remember decluttering down to like 18 bronzers. And I was like, oh, I have room to bring more bronzers in. And it was in that moment that I realized that you never tell your brain that you have room to bring certain categories in, because then your life will be taken over by said category. And while I do not think bronzers has taken over my life, I do think that there is a level of a lot that is happening right here. So I'm going to go through them. Okay, I don't know how much exactly I'm starting with right now, but I do know that I accidentally pulled these out, and I do believe I went through these in the face palette collection video because these are contour palettes. So I'm going to set these aside. I don't believe I went through any of these yet, so we're going to count them right now. I do think that is it, and there are 40 items here. 40 items including these guys over here and all these over here. I'm going to scooch this over a little bit. These two, if I counted as one, then there would only be 39 products. This is actually just one product. But because I have them in my project pan, I have this one in my project pan as a single item. And because I broke these up in my inventory as two singles versus one single, just to make sense of the category, I am going to count these as two. So therefore there are 40 items. These are both the Makeup for Mario Sculpt Stick. Just my component broke, so when it broke, I did put the sculpt stick into the two different containers. And this one is less airtight, so I do have this one in my project pan right now because I want to get this one out of my collection as soon as possible. This one is pretty airtight. So I am counting this as two items. They will both stay, so let's just start there. This one is in my project pan though, and will leave very, very soon. I'm sure of it. And these two cream bronzers of sorts. This is the Juvia's Place color stick in the shade Guinea. And I really do like it as a bronzer during certain parts of the year. It looks really scary, but buffed out. It is really, truly a beautiful shade. I do think that I have bronzers that I like more than this. And even though I can buff this out beautifully and it becomes one with my skin, I do think that this is far too orange for my liking. So I am going to declutter the Juvia's Place color stick in the shade Guinea. Now, I did buy that on my journey to find a stick contour way back when, and it worked as a bronzer, but not, I mean, you can still see it's pretty orange. This one is the Fenty Matchstick in the shade Amber. You can see it's very gray toned. It's actually a really truly beautiful contour for me. I love this thing and will never give it up until it smells bad, it's growing mold, somebody tells me I have to get rid of it. I actually quite love this, and like I said, this is in the shade Amber, and this is before they had 2 shades of amber, so it is whatever amber existed prior to there being 2 ambers. I also have this liquid one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand in the shade Contour Wand. This is for fair to medium. I don't know how many shades she has, but I do love this. I got it, you know, not that long ago. It's already like halfway done. I don't think, yes, I love this. Yes, I think it is beautiful, but I don't think it's worth the hype because you go through it really fairly quickly when you're using it as an everyday kind of item. I think that if you're a makeup lover who only has one makeup item, this might not be worth it for you, like, because you do just go through it super quickly. But I will be keeping this. This one is truly a favorite of mine. I picked it up when it first came out. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer, and this is more like a contour for me. And when I think about it, I do love this one far more than I love this one, but this is like really quick and easy to use, whereas this one takes a little bit more effort. You know, you have to put it in on your face precisely. You have to blend it really, really well. I love this bronzer slash contour. It's not going anywhere. This one is the Patrick Ta bronzer, the She's Sculpted Cream Contour Bronzer Duo. I really do love this product. I think that you can see there's quite a bit of usage in this bronzer. There's a little, or contour, there's a little bit of a dip going on there. I don't 100% love the bronzer. Again, it's a little bit too like orange for me. I feel like it just comes across very orange, but I love the contour. So I'm going to keep it in for the contour, but know that it will likely go when that contour is also gone. Here we have the NARS and the ABH cream bronzer. I bought these roughly the same time. I have the cream bronzer by ABH in caramel, and I have the cream bronzer by NARS in Laguna 3. I love the NARS one. Love it so much. You can tell there's quite a bit of usage in this. I will be keeping this. And then the Caramel by ABH, I do have some use in, but it again sits in that very orange place and just looks I mean, it truly makes my face look like I've smeared dirt all over it, like clay terracotta pots all over my face. So I'm going to declutter this one. Then we have Chanel and Revolution. Like, you couldn't get so far from the colors or the price point spectrum than these two. The Revolution one, honestly, listen, it's beautiful, and I accidentally got the shade Deep. It actually works really, really well for me. I just a little dab will do me, and I just blend it out really pretty perfectly, and it is beautiful. Like, I would say that this ventures a real close running to the NARS Laguna bronzer in a way that was unexpected for me. So I will be keeping this one as well. And the Chanel bronzer I do have in Soleil Tan, and I just love this. Because this is as like light as it is, it doesn't like create that deep orange luminosity that the other ones do without it looking natural. The other two that are a little bit more on the orange side look unnatural, right? But also look orange. This one just kind of melts into your skin, becomes one with your skin, and it just looks beautiful. Even though it's kind of on the like apricot-y side, it blends so beautifully into the skin and looks natural. Gives your skin just truly a sunlit glow. I mean, look at my hand, it looks very tan. Okay, I'm gonna set this to the side. Moving into powders, I have the Benefit Hoola. I mean, this is just a staple. Honestly, it's been used and abused, but like literally I've had it for, I feel like 100 years. It still works fine. It's still got a beautiful pigmentation. Like, I think that this will likely continue to stay in my collection, but I really like the new Hoolas with the slimmer boxes. You know, I do have a new one with a slimmer box, but I do have it into a giveaway package that I'm compiling. So I'm just going to keep this one. It works fine. It's a little bit cumbersome because it's super chunky. If I do get a new one this year at FLC, I will switch this one out and give this to maybe the garbage. I don't know though. I mean, it works perfectly fine. Maybe I'll give it to my donor, switch this one out for a slimmer one just because it fits in my collection differently, but I will be keeping that. Another one that's not going anywhere is this. This is the Dior Makeup Forever Amber Bronze, and I just fell in love with this bronzer over the last, year. I think I brought it into my collection in September and then used it like pretty significantly through Shop My Stash over the holiday season. I just love it so much. It's so beautiful. It goes on super seamlessly, and it just, you can't even tell that there's powder on your face when you're wearing it. It just looks so pretty and is the perfect tone for me. This one is Gigi Gorgeous, and this one is from, I think, an Ipsy. And, when I first got it in Ipsy, I wasn't going to keep it. And now I think that it just has ended up in my collection for so long that I just need to wing it, give it a try. I've lost the box to it, so I couldn't put it into a DECLUTTER or into something as a new. Also, my finger accidentally touched it right there, so I have to either use it or declutter it as a brand new item. So I'm gonna try it and see how I like it, and if I don't like it, then I will give it to my daughter, my sister, my mother, somebody. But it's pretty. I'm excited to try it. I think the only reason why I wasn't gonna keep it is because I don't know this brand. So, it's an Ipsy brand. This one is by Fenty. This is the Sunstalker Bronzer in Island Ting. I loved this at one point in time, but it gets like hard pan so super easy, and that drives me literally bonkers. But when it's not hard panned, it is like just really a really pretty bronzer. I don't know what I want to do with it though, because it does get hard pan so easy. I think I'm going to keep it for now. I'll put it into my Shop My Stash when I revive it to see how I feel about it upcoming. This one is Shades by Shan. It is a bronzer that I received in an Ipsy. Again, this is the Walnut bronzer, and I think I actually am going to declutter this one. I haven't used it. I still have the packaging for it. I haven't touched it. It can go into that giveaway box of stuff that I've got going on for another event that I am preparing a box for, and I got it in Ipsy, so I think that's what I'm going to do with it. I have the NARS Laguna bronzer in powder form, and this is my travel size, and this is my second one of these bronzers. I've already panned a whole NARS Laguna powder bronzer. I love this bronzer. This is not going anywhere. And then this one by Bare Minerals. This I've had in a project pan. You can tell by the orange on it, but this is the Endless Summer bronzer in the shade Warmth. And if I'm honest with you, I just feel like this turns me more red than I love. This is in my project plan to pan for 2024, but there's so much of this product left still, and I just don't see me. If I'm gonna pan it, it would be just to get it out of my collection when I can just declutter it and get rid of it in that way. So I am going to just declutter it and get rid of it in that way. And we're going to move this on. These ones are in here because they fit in here, not for any other reason, if I'm honest. This is my favorite contour powder. This is by Natasha Denona. This is so pretty, and it is such a great contour shade. It's like this really like almost gray brown. It's just really pretty. So, and if I go in with a super light hand, I can also use it as a bronzer. So I'm really in love with this product. This will stay. And then I have this one by ABH and this one by ABH. I did have 3, and I ended up decluttering one, I think last year in my declutter. This one is in the shade Tawny, and this one is in the shade Rich Amber, and it looks like this. So one of them is a little bit deeper than the other. One of them makes like a summer bronzer versus like a winter bronzer. This one is a little bit more like almost red toned or orangey terracotta-y, but not like super red, or not super orange. And then this one is a little bit more on the like contoury side. So I keep them both because I think that they both serve a purpose in my collection, but they're just, I mean, they're huge, they're big. And I do think that even paired together, they make a really good match. I will keep both of those. This one is by Vesca, and this one is the Kiss by Santorini Vesca Beauty Soft Matte Bronzing Powder. And it truly is a beautiful soft matte bronze. It just looks really natural on your skin, and I really do like it. I think that I also ordered a secondary one to put into a giveaway at one point in time, and they sent me the wrong shade, and the shade they sent me could have been setting powder for my face. So I just gave it to my daughter because she's very pale, and it actually looks like a pretty amazing bronzer on her. So I will keep that one. This is the Milk Makeup Ultra Matte Powder Bronzer in the shade Santa Cruz. And this one is very red, and it just really pains me to say that this, I think, has got to go. I mean, I love Melt as a brand, but I don't know what possessed me to purchase this. Look down my knuckle here where it's all just kind of like sitting in my knuckle. It's hard to blend, it's hard to use because it's just the wrong shade for me, so I am gonna get rid of that. I paid a really lot of money for that bronzer, so it makes me so sad. I have this one by Too Faced. This is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and again, this is a staple for me, so I will hold on to it. It works well as a bronzer, it works well as contour for me. And this, you know, I recluttered back into my collection. This is the MAC Matte Bronze Bronzing Powder, and it doesn't have a shade on it. So maybe when I purchased it, it was the only one. I think I just need to give it up because it's not ever going, I don't know. I think it looks better than I remember it looking, but it's still really orange, right? When I have all those other powder bronzers that I love just so much. I recluttered it, and then I still haven't used it. So I'm gonna declutter that as well. And the reason why I decluttered that as well is also because I have so many beautiful bronzers that are in my collection still to go through that I know that I love, and why keep ones that I'm not using. So these ones are the last of what I have left in my collection that I have used. Okay, the Pat McGrath bronzer in the shade Nude Honey. Listen, this is perfection. This is the most, like, shocked me, most perfect bronzer hands down, I cannot with this bronzer. It is so perfect and so beautiful, and it goes on seamlessly. And if a powder could look like a cream on your skin, this powder does that. It just becomes one with your skin so seamlessly. I could never get rid of that. It's hands down my favorite powder bronzer of the moment. This Jouer set. This is the Jouer Medium to Deep Bronzer Duo in Sunkissed and Sunset. And I really, really love this side. I really, really love this side for contour. It does have a little bit of gray tone to it and works really well as a contour in conjunction with this bronzer here. So I will be keeping this. I did buy this because of Samantha March. So I will be holding on to that. And then I have this Hourglass bronzer, which is the ambient lighting bronze in the shade Nude Bronze Light. Such a beautiful bronzer. This is just such a pretty bronzer as well. Really natural, really glowy, gives your, without being like shimmery, gives your skin a really, really beautiful natural glow like all the ambient powders do. So truly a beautiful bronzer. We'll keep it. This one is the LYS No Limits Matte Bronzer in the shade Motivate. And it is made for light skin, and it is truly a beautiful bronzer as well. It does lean a little bit peachy. And I think because it leans so peachy, I don't wear it as often, but when I do wear it, I know that I absolutely love the way my skin looks with this on it, the way my face looks, the way my makeup comes together. So I will be holding on to that, even though it's kind of a pain in the ass to store. This one by Haus Labs, I did get the Powder Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Light Level 4. And I mean, this is a really super beautiful, like odd combination of powder and cream. It just feels like truly like velvet in the packaging, and it looks that way on your skin too, and just blends in pretty seamlessly. I honestly think, as dark as this looks, I honestly think I could have gotten a darker shade and it would still be okay, but this really is pretty on my skin. I wish it was just a smidge bit more neutral than it is here, even though it maybe looks a little bit more neutral. It does appear quite orange on my skin. Oh, Marc Jacobs. I have the Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronze Coconut Perfect Tan Limited Edition Bronzer that everybody wanted back in the day. And I ended up getting my hands on because it was at like TJ Maxx or something. And I love it. It still performs so good. It still looks beautiful. It still has the ridges in the pan, y'all. I use this a lot. I just apparently not enough to break down the ridges. I don't see anything wrong with this. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with this. It doesn't smell like there's anything wrong with this. So I will be keeping that. Okay, this one is the Juvia's Place Bronzed Medium Bronzer. And it has two bronzers in it, and they look like this. And I have to be 100% honest with you. I do not love this bronzer. It is whatever. It's just a bronzer, right? This one shocked me so much. I love this on my skin. It is so yellow toned, but it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful in application. And just goes so well with kind of my like fair, warm olive complexion. It just is, it's just stunning. It's stunning. So I keep this around for that one. If for no other reason, I'll swatch this one for you guys too. This one is not my favorite, and I think it's just because it is very orange. I don't know though, with them two together, it's so, in person, it looks very red. So this is like sun-kissed, like almost sunburn for me, whereas this one looks just like tan. So I don't love the darker of the two, or the more red, I guess I should say, of the two. But I do like the yellow one, so I will keep it in. And this one is actually a bronzer and blush. The Complex Culture Overtime Contour and Blush Duo in Power Play, which is the bronzer or contour, and then Pink Slip, which is the blush. And, you know, this took me a minute to figure out whether I liked it or not. But after using it in my project, or my Shop My Stash, I really figured out that I love both of these products. So, I mean, it lives with my bronzers because I'll use it more as a bronzer, honestly. This blush is a little bit scary-ish. But I really do like taking it on the road with me when I need like a bronzer blush duo and it's like summertime. This is the perfect summertime like bronzer slash blush duo for me. So that's why it lives in my collection still. So then we have all these new ones that I brought into my collection that I haven't even opened the damn box on. This one, I did open the box. I just got this one in gratis. It, again, is a blush and a bronzer duo. It's by Stila, and it has the shades Grapefruit and Caramel. So this is Caramel, which I think, I mean, I'm going to try it, but I think it's, you know, it's orange, but I think it's less orange than some of the other ones that I have used in the past. And then this is Grapefruit, the blush, which I think is actually really, really pretty. You know what might pair well with this, because this is roughly the same like color tones, is this is the cream product underneath. This is the powder product. So maybe I'll take these with me on my next travel journey. This is a Glossier cloud paint, and I do know that I got it as it was in a little mini blush duo thing that I got over Christmas time. But it's in the shade Rise, and when I look at the shade Rise online, it looks very much like kind of like a more of a bronzer, in my humble opinion. So I do have it in this section, but once I get it opened and try it, I will see if I like it better as a blush or as a bronzer. And if I like it better as a blush, then I will put it in with my blushes. But for now, it lives in my bronzer section. This is the Ofra South Beach bronzer. My daughter gave me this. She got it out of her, she gets Ipsy now. South Beach. That, oh, it's shattered. Okay, well, that can go, or maybe I'll repress it. I can't believe that shattered, like it's been sitting. That's sad. I'll see if I can't repress it, but it is one of those baked formulas, so this will be really hard to repress. So I'm gonna stick this over here because but we're gonna count it out for now until I bring it back in. It's just been sitting in my drawers, so I don't know how it shattered. I didn't drop it or anything. This is the Give Pick It Up Cream Contour and Bronzer Duo. And I fell in love with her blushes that I tried earlier this year, so I went ahead and picked this up as well. It is just a cream product and a powder product. I don't love that there's not like a little door over the top of this, but I think like Natasha Denona has spoiled us in the way that they put a door over their cream product so their powder product doesn't mix in. But it's a cream contour product and a powder bronzer product. So I have it in this section, and it is called Toastin'. I've heard really great things about this, so I am going to be keeping this product as well. Also, this box, look at how cute that is. It's just little bandana inside of there. It's so cute. This one is by Rose Inc. This one I got around Christmas time as well. This one is in the shade Kawaii, and it is the Solar Infusion Soft Focus Cream Bronzer. These kind of look like a toilet. It cracks me up. But this is the shade of that bronzer, and I really have heard great things about these bronzers, so I'm really excited to try them. This is my, honestly, I bought this and a blush. It came in a kit that also had the blush came in a kit that also had a lipstick in it. So I'm really excited to try a few items from the brand. So this will be my first adventure into rose ink. And like I said, that is in the shade Kawaii. I got this by Rare Beauty. This is the Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzer Stick in Bright Side. You know, you hear so much about these bronzer sticks by Rare Beauty. I couldn't not pick it up. It's perfect, like, contour shade, in my humble opinion, for me. So, really super excited to try that out. And then I got this by One Size. This is the One Size Made for Shade Bronze and Sculpt Trio. So it's a trio for medium, I think is what I picked up. And I did look at this in person. So I do think that this is, you know, was my best option when picking this up. I did swatch all the things. It does look like it is super dark in here, but I do think that this contour is really, really great for my skin, and this bronzer is really, really great for my skin. This one would be my, like, swing vote product, but I'm really excited to try this guy out as well. Let's put these guys back and see how we feel about our new bronzer category. So this is what I've left with. I have 33 bronzers left, and I did declutter these 6. That doesn't sound right. Oh, these 7, because this guy broke. I will likely just get rid of it. I don't need to repress it, to be honest. It's one of those split pan ones, and I feel like once you repress those, number one, and also, I don't know, I'll try. For now, we're taking it out. So I decluttered 7, I'm left with 33. I feel like that's a good percentage, right? Because when we think through the lens of what I have versus what I did have, when I take this amount out of what I do have, that's almost 20%. Even if I go and repress this, I've still gotten rid of 15% of my bronzers, which I'm okay with. And this one will be gone soon too. I'm happy with this number. I can live with this number. So I hope that you can too. With that said, I'm gonna roll you into outro, and we'll chat again soon. All right, so that is the end. How did I do? Listen, I'm doing this outro and the intro, aforementioned intro at the beginning, without even knowing what section that you got to see just now. So I did already film an inventory video that is just about the numbers in the spreadsheets and how I log everything. I will have that available to you in the cards, as well as my year of empties video, which talked about all the empties that I had last year. So you also get to see what exited my inventory. How do you think I did? What do you think about my collection so far? I would be interested to hear from you down in the comment section. With that said, if you like collection videos, I'm doing a whole bunch more of them, I do think. And unless this is the last one, in which case I just lied to you. But if you're interested, don't forget to subscribe before you go, because there's a lot more content coming. And also, like, I've been on YouTube for a while. There's plenty of videos out there. I'm sure that you can find something that you enjoy. Maybe something that you can go back to from way back when, in the Wayback Machine when I started, and you can make fun of me for, because everybody was a little cringe-worthy back then. Maybe go look at my collection videos from back then. That would be a hoot. Either way, I just hope that you loved it. I hope that you want to subscribe before you go. I hope that we can be friends at the end of the day. And yeah, I'm super thankful that you were here today. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you and yours are well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best you can. I hope that you are all loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.